And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass that when thou have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. All right, I'd like to start off by giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Arakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect. Shalom unto you. Yeah, this is pretty much just a land back off the Elder Yashawamba's video. And you know, he made a funny comment. For some of us have that mental you know, we play mental games with Esau and all of that. And I happen to be somebody along that line. I don't have the luxury of where I work or even where I live, you know, to just completely separate myself from Esau. So I have fun with it a little bit, you know, and I have been paying attention to how they're responding to what's happening in their lives. You said Trump is not turning out the way they planned. Their power is diminishing at an alarming rate. And everything that they put their hand upon is starting to crumble. Okay? Just like the prophecy says, okay? And so it just had me thinking about this comedian Louis C.K. Let me pull it up right quick. Okay? And so this is Louis C.K., Edomite extraordinaire, right? This guy, man. I mean, if you're into that type of dark humor, dry humor, whatever, then he's your guy, man. But he exudes in his comedy and, you know, everything that Esau is all about in the society. So I'm going to just play this video because the first thing I thought about was this is how they believed life in society to be. So I'm going to just play it. Let me turn it up a little bit. So I'll just play it, and then I'll grab some scriptures at the end. It's kind of lengthy, but I mean it's all good though.
Well, how are your children doing? Are they all right? How are they? My kids are good. Yeah. I mean, they can't. On paper, they're great. They're two little white girls in America. Right. I mean, what? Sometimes I look at it that way. I look at them. I'm like, you can't say anything. Yeah. You're doing awesome. Boilerplate, great lives. I gave my daughter medicine the other day, and it was bubblegum flavored, so that she'll take it. Bubblegum flavored medicine? Yeah, you give me like Tylenol, it's bubblegum flavored. Oh, it's not methadone or anything. No, it's bubblegum flavored. I give her, she's got a fever, Tylenol, bubblegum flavored. She goes, ew. I'm like, you ew. You can't say ew. I'm sorry. It's medicine. Medicine, right, exactly. It's medicine. Most children don't have medicine. Right. Most children in the world, they get sick, they die on a rock with a bear eating them. That's how they handle it. Right. And, oh, he's got a sniffle, ring the bear bell and put him outside, whatever they do. You're a little white girl in America. You wear clothes made by children your age professionally. You don't get to say ew about your bubblegum medicine. I never heard of bubblegum medicine. Well, you got the holidays coming up. Are you doing any plans? No, you seem like a very holiday guy. I just want to say I'm not trying to say that if you're white you can't complain. Right. I'm just saying that if you're black you get to complain more. Right. Because you can't. There you go. Don't tell the band that. Yeah. Because you can't. That's right. You can't take people's like the historical context away from them. And everybody wants us to. Like, white people are always like, come on, it wasn't us. Like, they want black people to forget everything. Like, every year, white people add 100 years to how long ago slavery was. I've heard educated white people say slavery was 400 years ago. No, it very wasn't. It was 140 years ago. That's two 70-year-old ladies living and dying back to back. That's how recently you could buy a guy. That's right. And it's not like slavery ended and then everything has been amazing. Like it just... Oh, glad that's over. Oh, yeah, it just ended like a clean where you don't have to wipe. Just boom. And then it's just been parades and presents ever since. You gotta remember that if you meet a black person, they have gray hair, they remember a time they weren't allowed to use a certain toilet. So give them a little, time to be cranky. And by the way, white people have our own thing that stuff that we went through that hurt us that we have to cope with. Like when they took our slaves away, that was really hard for us, and we're still. So it's pretty even. so it's even. Yeah. It's even. All right, be right back with Aaron Ralston. Louis C.K. Everybody has different words that offend them, different things that they hear that they get offended by. To me, the thing that offends me the most is every time that I hear the N-word. Not nigger, by the way. I mean the N-word. Literally, whenever a white lady on CNN with nice hair says the N-word, that's just white people getting away with saying nigger. That's all that is. They found a way to say nigger. N-word. It's bullshit, because when you say the N-word, you put the word nigger in the listener's head. That's what saying a word is. You say the N-word and I go, oh, she means nigger. You're making me say it in my head. Why don't you fucking say it instead and take responsibility for the shitty words you want to say? Just say it. Don't hide behind the first letter like a faggot. Just say nigger, you stupid cunt. I don't know. I don't care. Somebody will kick my ass. I mean, all this shit goes on in my head. I don't really I thought the word nigger the other day. I'm going to tell you this story. And it wasn't racist. It wasn't a race-even connotation. Let me tell you what happened. I went to a coffee place. And it was like a cool indie coffee. I don't like Starbucks anymore because you go there and they don't care anymore. They just press a button and some old lady's diarrhea comes out and they just give it to you. So I go to like a young people cool coffee place with like my band's playing notices on the walls. It's called like the Howling Do whatever thing. And the dude behind the counter's got a tight t-shirt and a ponytail and he's like, hey, what's up, man? And I was like, hey, can I get a cappuccino? And he's like, yeah, right on, totally. Like, he's amazed that he could help me. Like, oh yeah, I got all this stuff right here. That's awesome. And so he starts making my coffee he works so hard. He ground the beans just for that one cup and put them in the thing and tamped them with this old thing and you click, clack, and click and then he took the milk and he frothed it like for like an hour and then he banged it on the counter. I don't know why, it was awesome. And he scooped it in and put a little cocoa on it and he said, here you go, man. And I was just blown away. And for some reason, as I left there, the thought in my head was, that nigger made the shit out of my coffee. I don't know why. He wasn't black. That's just what was in my heart for some reason.
I'm going to jump in real quick. Yeah, because you remember a time in your spirit when you was ruling over Jake. You know, this man has the ultimate Edomite spirit. I like Edomites like this that just come out and show who the hell they really are. To show themselves as the devils they really are. You know? It's okay. Esau, be the devil you are, man. You got to be the devil. Play that role, to the best of your ability, man. All this faking like you're happy and you like it. That's why I like Trump. I'm entertained by DJ Trump, okay? Because he's out there saying it and doing it. Wherever the hell he wants to say, he's saying it, and whatever he wants to do, he's doing it. And he don't give two shits. He said, hey, this shutdown is going to affect the most harsh and mainly blacks and Hispanics. That's what it was going to affect. So, hey, oh well. Right? Yeah, you Democrats are the ones without jobs. Oh, yeah, oh well. Give me my wall. Hey, so you got to understand something. He's depicting the mentality of an Edomite in recent history. Okay? This is what this comedy is about. This is what this video segment is about. All right? Because this mentality started way back from the scripture I read in Genesis. Okay? And if you really want to go back, it started way back in with Cain and Abel, as Elder Yashawamba stated. Okay? Because they were jealous over the offering that that Abel brought, so he slayed. Cain slayed Abel. All right, because he wanted that glory and that position for himself. Same thing that happened with Jacob and Esau, if thou canst tell. Right, they're the same spirits in the reincarnation. Okay, time back into Elder Yashawamba's video. Moving forward, now that they have the dominion on the earth, this is how they truly feel about their position in the earth. All right? That's why I enjoy this video right here, because they're showing you who they really are with their position in the earth. All right?
Was that nigger made the shit out of my car? I don't know. I mean, everything that we introduce to the world is shitty. Meaning white people. Because I really think that white people are from like another planet. Because when we came to America, it was so nice. It was just Indians. And they weren't even Indians. We called them that by accident. And we still call them that. Like we knew in a month that it wasn't Indians, but we just don't give a shit. We never correct it. We came here and they're like, hi. And we're like, hey, you're Indians, right? And they're like, no. No, this is India, right? No, it's not. It's totally other place. You're not Indians? No. Ah, you're Indians. You're Indians for hundreds of years after. We ruined everything here. This was it was just coast to coast, just green and brown and beautiful. And all the humans were just walking around with pain.
He's talking about in the western part of the world when he came over to the Americas, man. When Esau came, with the conquistadors came over here from Spain in those ships, and you know, they came over here to conquer. They knew who was over here, but when they got here, what did they see? They saw the northern kingdom living it up, man. You Hispanics and natives, man, they saw you already over here living the right way, because there was still some resemblance of the northern kingdom keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay, the land Sabbaths and different high holy days, and they have been by a different name or something to that effect. But they still was generally keeping the customs of the Israelites. Okay, you can do your research and find that out. There's books on it. You can talk to an old Hispanic grandma that still remembers something, grandpa, somebody. They still remember these things. Natives, they still remember the stories. Speaking about Yahweh Shai, speaking about the Great Spirit, you know, and things of that nature. The different you can if you're a spiritual, you can put together that a lot of this was the same things, same customs that they were keeping out the Bible, but they may call it by a different name today. All right. I mean, it was mingled in with some BS, also idol worship and so on and so forth, but it was still in there. So they were living good over here. All right. It's not just humans over here. It was Jake. All right.
Faces just walking, and they'd be like, "Oh, that looks yummy," and then they just eat from the ground, and then they'd sleep on the grass, and they wake up and they fuck, and then they'd go for a swim and do a little dance. That was the whole continent was just folks doing that.
I mean, there was people in Mexico cutting off kids' heads and rolling them down the pyramid stairs. But that's always going on. What are you gonna, you can't do a whole lot about that. But I think we came from another planet, and the reason is because we don't like it here. I mean, why, if we're from here, if we belong on Earth, why aren't we comfortable?
And I'll answer that real quick with this scripture, and then I'll break it down. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person, as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Okay, because what did that birthright? Well, in fact, I'm going to read it. It says, for ye know how afterward he would have inherited the blessing. What was the blessing? The kingdom of heaven and to rule earth. Okay? But he's a fornicator and a profane person. He's outside the temple. He's outside this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Shema on how to manage and run the planet. Okay? So let me get this real quick. That's it right there. Bear with me one moment while I grab this scripture. The book of should be right here. Psalm hold that one. Oops. Cancel. Let me see. Psalm. Yep. One second. Psalm 50. Psalm 50 and 16, it says, But unto the wicked the Most High saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee, because this book is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for instruction in righteousness. You know, what's that instruction in righteousness? How to rule the planet the right way. Okay? Among each other upon the planet, how you deal with people upon the planet, and how you deal with the planet and the animals themselves. Okay? That's what this book gives us. That's why we have the owner's manual. The Bible is like the owner's manual to the earth. Okay? Of how to rule and live upon the earth. All right? Psalm 147 and 19, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. Because Israel, you Jakes, you got the blessing. Okay, that's what I read in Genesis 27. You got the blessing. Okay, so you got the control of the earth when Esau sold his birthright unto you in the 25th chapter. And then when Isaac blessed you with everything in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, on earth. Okay, you got that. All right, that's why this book is for us with the instructions on how to manage this planet. Okay, it says, he hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. What's the judgments? And he's about to run down the judgment on how to judge live on the earth. He said it was, he basically described paradise. I mean, he put comedy into it, but everything was green and wonderful, and water was fresh, and fruits off the ground, just an abundance of life. It was paradise over here. All right. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahshua. Okay, so let me go back into the video.
On Earth at all, we need nice smooth surfaces and right angles, and we need it to be cool and not too hot, just a little, just perfect. Like, why wouldn't, when it's hot, why wouldn't we just, fuck it. Why wouldn't we be like that if we belong here? And it's weird because people that aren't, whatever you call there's environmentalists, and then there's people who are whatever. They just hate environmentalists. But that's what people get angry at environmentalists, because they think they're slowing down the economy and creating restrictions. And a lot of these people are Christian. A lot of these people are very devout Christians. And that's such a confusing thing to me, that if you believe that God gave you the earth, that God created the earth for you, why would you not have to look after it? Why the fuck?
Because they didn't get it. That's what we read, right? I'm going to read it again back in Hebrews, the 12th chapter, 16th verse. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. He was the elder son that was supposed to get passed down the birthright of the kingdom of heaven and the rulership and ownership of the planet earth. Right? So, for ye know how that now the prophecy was meant for Jacob to get it over Esau anyway, but the custom was for the elder to get it. All right. It says, for ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Okay. That was Genesis 27. But Esau is just uncomfortable on the earth, because as Elder Yashawamba so beautifully put, he said he was a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. Okay, he was uncomfortable in the earth after as Cain after he slew Abel. Okay, so he's never been comfortable in the earth since then. And even you want to go back to when he was a serpent, and he would be lowly and in confusion. Okay, his spirit wasn't right back in Genesis. All right, and the Most High cursed him in Genesis, cursed him as Cain, gave him the mark of Cain, made him a vagabond and a fugitive in the earth. Okay, took his birthright away and gave him the same curse with the mark of Cain as Esau. All right, and then if you go into the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary, it tells you Edom was the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not promised mercy. That's what it says in there. Now, I don't have my Zondervan's anymore, but read that about Edom. It says that about Edom. The only nation of the Israelites. She's the only one that didn't receive any promise of mercy. All right, but this is why he's telling you why.
What? You know, there's environmentalists, and then there's people who, or whatever, they just hate environmentalists. But that's what people get angry at environmentalists, because they think they're slowing down the economy and creating restrictions. And a lot of these people are Christian. A lot of these people are very devout Christians. And that's such a confusing thing to me, that if you believe that God gave you the earth, that God created the earth for you, why would you not have to look after it? Why would you not think that when he came back, he wouldn't go, what the fuck did you do? I gave this to you, motherfucker. Are you crazy?
When thou shalt have dominion, he gave Jacob everything. When you go back into the Genesis, the 27th chapter. Okay? He gave it to Jacob. Esau just has dominion for this time. And his end, as a matter of fact, I'm going to just get that. His end is near. One moment, let me grab this the book of 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras chapter 6, starting with verse 7. And he said, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? The first is this dominion period that Esau has, and the beginning of it that followeth is the kingdom of heaven that Jacob will rule forever and ever in righteousness. Okay, under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Most High God Yahweh and their only begotten Son Yahushua and King David and all the way down. Okay? It says, and he said unto me, from Abraham to Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question, Ezra says, all not. Okay. I'll play a little more, and then I'll get this one.
Polar bears are brown. What did you do to the polar bears? Did you shit all over every polar bear? Who did this? Who spilled this shit? Who spilled this? Come over. Did you fucking spill this? What is that?
It's oil. It's just some oil. I didn't mean to spill.
Well, why didn't you take it out of the fucking ground?
Because I wanted to go faster.
I'm not fast enough. And I was cold. What the fuck do you mean cold? I gave you everything you needed, you piece of shit.
Well, because jobs. I wanted.
What is a job? Explain to me, what's a fucking job?
You work at a place, and when people call when their game doesn't work, and you help them figure it out.
What do you do that for?
For money.
What do you need money for?
Food.
Just eat the shit on the floor. I left shit all over the floor. Fucking corn and wheat and shit. Ground it up, make some bread. What are you doing?
Yeah, but it doesn't have like bacon around it, and like I like when it has.
So how it naturally gravitates to sin. Dietary laws tell us not to eat the swine. You know, whether that's Leviticus the 11th chapter and Deuteronomy the 14th chapter. Not supposed to eat that. You know, but he naturally is outside the temple. He's a fornicator, profane outside the temple. Okay, he can't help but be the adversary to righteousness. That's why he couldn't inherit the planet. All right, it was meant for he. The wicked was created for the day of evil, and he's bringing the day of evil like no other. He's being a beautiful and worthy adversary. Okay, he's showing us exactly what not to do. Okay, but Jake is seduced by it. All right.
Like bacon on it and
Sorry I'm being so negative. I'm a bummer. I don't know. I shouldn't be. I'm a very, lucky guy. I got a lot going for me. I'm healthy. I'm relatively young. And I'm white, which thank God for that shit, boy. So that is a huge leg up. Are you kidding me? Oh, God, I love being white. I really do. Seriously, if you're not white, you're missing out because this shit is thoroughly good.
Yeah, until now. Until now. You go back to Elder Yashawama's page with that white man stressed the hell out. You can see it in his eyes. He was stressed. That Esau was stressed the hell out. You can see it, man. Vexed. What's going on here? They're talking to me like I'm guy shit. It's all that what their music and it's all that plays on the radio. Like they're just perplexed at society and the condition of the earth and what's going on. Because his power is leaving. That's the main thing, because his power is leaving him.
But let me be clear, by the way. I'm not saying that white people are better. I'm saying that being white is clearly better. Who could even argue? If it was an option, I would re-up every year. Oh, yeah, I'll take white again. Absolutely. I've been enjoying that. I'm going to stick with white. Thank you. Here's how great it is to be white. I could get in a time machine and go to any time, and it would be fucking awesome when I get there. That is exclusively a white privilege. Black people can't fuck with time machines. A black guy in a time machine is like, hey, think before 1980. No, thank you. I don't want to go. But I can go to any time. The year 2? I don't even know what was happening then. But I know when I get there, welcome, we have a table right here for you, sir.
My privilege for you.
It's lovely here in the year, too. I can go to any time. In the past, I don't want to go to the future and find out what happens to white people because we're going to pay hard for this shit. You got to know that. We're not going to just fall from number 1 to 2. They're going to hold us down and fuck us in the ass forever. And
no, we're not. Because that's wickedness. Yeah, we're going to take the kingdom from you, like it says in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, but ain't going to be no anal raping like your wicked asses would do.
We totally deserve it, but for now, we're going to just fall from number 1 to 2. They're going to hold us down and fuck us in the ass forever. And we totally deserve it, but for now, Now, if you're white and you don't admit that it's great, you're an asshole. It is great, and I'm a man. How many advantages could one person have? I'm a white man. You can't even hurt my feelings. What can you really call a white man that really digs deep? Hey, cracker. Oh, ruined my day. Boy, shouldn't have called me a cracker. Bringing me back to owning land and people. What a drag.
Alright. So now I'm going to pull some scripts. Alright, but now this is the look that you got. You don't have that pride anymore. This is that future. You know, when he said in the past, in the future, we got to know we're going to pay for this. Well, this is that look of that future coming to you. Okay, this is the look of that future coming to you. I'm gonna grab the book of book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children. And this is the look he has in his face. Like he knows the future is not gonna be good. Like, oh man. It says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. Your forefathers, Esau, your forefathers screwed you. Okay? They screwed you. Okay? It says that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities. Okay? I'm going to jump up to verse 11. Matter of fact, verse 10. It says, Isaiah 14:10, it says, all they that speak and say unto thee, art thou become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Wait, Esau, are you down here with us now? Lowly? You know, because you're falling out of power, man. It says, thy pomp, which is like your pride and your bravado and your arrogancy and all of that, right? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, the worms cover thee, and that's a sign of decay and breakdown. Your infrastructure is broken down, your economy is broken down, everything in your society is now breaking down. Your power, the unspoken power that you have, white privilege, that ain't necessarily working for you. It's still in effect. Don't get me wrong. These things are still in effect, but it ain't working like it used to work. Why do you think DJ Trump's talking about making America great again? Because it's not great anymore. Okay? It's not great anymore. And it's not going to go back to being wonderful and great. Right as you think you're about to fulfill your new world order where it'll make it wonderful and great, that's when he shall throw you down. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to throw you down. All right? It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Lucifer means light bearer, which these Edomites have the light. They know who we are. They control our position in the earth right now. They have the dominion. They call themselves the children of Israel. They're running the world. They're doing it in wickedness, though. Okay? When the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. But when the righteous are beareth rule, the people rejoice. That's I believe Proverbs the 29th chapter. Yeah. It says anyway, it says son of the morning, it says, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. That sounds like 2 Thessalonians. Okay, who calls himself God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing that he is God. You know, it says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the pit, to the grave. It says, to out of a position of power into a position of subjection under the Israelites, slavery. You're gonna be brought down to hell, man. When we're brought up to the kingdom of rulership and righteousness. Okay, it says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, dropping missiles and bombs and running through the earth when he had the dominion, ruling stuff? Okay, putting people in subjection, putting his embassy bases everywhere. Okay, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. Okay, so from there I'm gonna go to let's go to Obadiah. The book of Obadiah. It's only one chapter in this book. Verse 2, it says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Okay, you're despised by all the nations, man, all the heathen nations. Even they that were once confederate with thee hate you now. All right, it says, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? You know, that's what Louis C.K. was showing. Who shall bring him down? Talking about being white, the benefits of being white. Who shall bring him down to the ground? Well, Yahweh Shemel Shai is bringing you down. Well, he got his mouthpieces, his men out there teaching and chanting your place down spiritually. And then he's got your infrastructure and your power structure crumbling. And then he's going to finish it off in World War III and when the chariots show up. Okay? It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and every time you looked in a rulership period, the so-called white man called himself the eagle. In Greece, he called himself the eagle. In Rome, he called himself the eagle. In America, he called himself the eagle, the rebirth of the Roman Empire. All right? Which the eagle is a very powerful bird, man. You know? You watch videos, man, you'll see eagles snatch goats and all kinds of, out the air. Children, they'll snatch them up out the air and fly off and go eat. Anyway, it says, and though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence when I bring you down, saith the Lord Yahweh. Verse 6, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hid things sought up? This man's fallen on himself. This man's tongue is falling upon himself. His internet is snitching on him because now Jake is able to Google all types of answers, and we got them now, okay? As well as this Bible and the seals of this Bible being opened up to where the men of the Lord can understand and interpret it and feed it out to the people, okay? It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border the men that were at peace with thee, from Psalm 83, have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day that said the Lord even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the house of Esau? For thy violence against thy, is verse 10. Matter of fact, verse 9. And thy mighty men, O Teman, Teman is a city in Edom, says, shall be dismayed, and to the end of every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Prepare slaughter. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Okay. It says, let me jump up. Verse 16. For as ye have, wait. Yep, verse 13, matter of fact, it says, let me see. No, verse 12. I mean, this whole chapter is good, man. This whole chapter, if you're an Israelite and you ain't, if you don't enjoy the book of Obadiah, man, I don't know what to tell you. One of the greatest books, man, to see the fall of your enemy, right? I don't need to read that. You can read that. But I want to read this. Verse 16, it says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance. Okay? It's the Israelites, the elect of Israel. It says, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Of the heathen's possession, they're going to bring them and walk them right into the kingdom of heaven. It says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. Fire and flames burn up stubble. Okay? It says, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there should not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh have spoken it. All right. So from there, I'm going to close out with one more script, which I could have read earlier, but it's all right. I'll still bring it out anyway. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 6. Now we'll jump down to 57. It says, and now, O power Yahweh, behold, these heathen have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us, and to devour us. But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. When he had the dominion, and he was having all this wonderful time and misusing the earth, and when you go into Ezekiel the 35th chapter, when our iniquity had it in, and he still pursued us with the sword, and so he pursued blood, so blood shall pursue him. Okay? We give it into their hands. It said, if the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? Well, good news. This is the gospel, okay? This captivity is almost over. We're about to get up out of this captivity. We're seeing everything that we need to get up out of here. The seals of the Bible are opened up. We're seeing the tribes come back together. The prophecy in Ezekiel the 37th chapter, we're seeing that come together with the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. We're starting to see chariot sightings, are the vehicles that the elect will escape the destruction with. World War III, which is the delivery system of the thermonuclear fire, that and the chariot laser beams. Okay, we're seeing the mark of the beast. We're seeing the economy collapse. RFID chip is the mark of the beast, by the way. Okay, we're seeing all these things in this time now. All right, being revealed in this time now. All right. And so with that being said, hey, rejoice, man. We got to rejoice because our redemption dropped nigh. Now is high time to awake out of sleep. You know, so anyway, this was basically a video, you know, that some of you that's coming in or some of you that's on the fence or may click on something like this for the first time, that you can see this and see who's who and know who you are and start preparing yourself for this day that's coming. Lord willing, you prepare yourself not with hoarding up food and guns and trying to fight Esau, but girding your loins and putting on this wisdom, man, so that you can be saved, so it can be the stability in these times coming that you can earn your salvation. All right. So anyway, with that, I'll say all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect. Shalom.